Aloha, boys and girls, and welcome back to yet again another video. Today, though, I'm not actually on your screen. I'm not actually doing like a vlog, webcam type of video, but instead, today I am bringing you guys a gameplay commentary. I know, those things aren't really prevalent anymore, but I thought I would kind of switch it up a little bit. I might, next time, do like a live comm, have like my overlay, and have my webcam off to the side. We can actually like literally talk about stuff while I'm actually playing like Black Ops 2 or even, you know, games in the future and stuff. So I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. I know people might have wanted me to have my face. I know it's beautiful. Not at all. But, you know, I know some people might not like this. So let me know in the comments before this video even gets started. Let me know or even tweet at me. If you guys don't know my Twitter, it's in the description. Also, if you guys like this idea of just doing gameplay commentaries like this, or if you like my face to be in it, or you know, to make it more interactive, I just want to know your guys' thoughts because I do like doing videos like this every once in a while. And you know, it might not sound difficult, but like having to focus on the webcam kind of provides a little bit more. It's a little bit more difficult. Let's just say it's a little bit more difficult. It's more fun to kind of just sit back, relax, and you know, and talk. So I just want to ask your guys' opinions about that. Like I said, let me know down in the comments. But we have a very interesting topic to talk about here today. The Call of Duty World League, with over $3 million being given away to the Call of Duty esports scene, and it's all happening at the beginning of Black Ops. Actually, well, not the beginning, but you know, in Black Ops 3. So this is going to be a major deal. And actually, really quickly, I want to let you guys know, as far as roster mania goes, I know this is kind of before Black Ops 3, but I know there was a lot of people asking me. They were saying, you know, why haven't you uploaded your roster mania video? Technically, the deadline was last Friday, but they still have chances to actually make changes to their team, and some players haven't joined rosters yet. Some rosters don't have a full set of 4, so I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. Probably going to come out Tuesday or Wednesday on the full roster mania recap and whatnot. So if you guys haven't actually caught those videos, I will link all 3 of them in the description, but just kind of get that out of the way. And so the Call of Duty World League, a lot of people have uploaded videos earlier on. I'm sure I've gotten tweets actually asking me like why I haven't uploaded talking about this, you know, specific thing. The reason is I didn't know too much about the Call of Duty World League. I woke up you know, a couple days ago, realized, so what is this, you know, thing, you know, the World League? What exactly is that? What does that mean? And, you know, I learned a lot about it. I learned a lot, but I feel like there was a lot of gaps that if I would have made a video talking about it, I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing it. I wouldn't have felt comfortable, you know, giving you guys information that you already knew, and then giving you guys a lot of questionable information. Now, granted, there is a lot of questionable information right now. Like, we don't know absolutely everything, you know, with this league. It was kind of a broad type, you know, article, which I'll be reading in a second, and, you know, they gave a lot of information, but there's a lot more that I feel like they could have did, but, you know, we have plenty of time before Black Ops 3 comes out. You know, we have a couple, like a month or 2 before it comes out, so we still have time, but, you know, I just want to ask you guys, and, you know, and not really ask you, but tell you the reason why, is that now I know a lot more information about it. They actually made a frequently asked questions, took a long look at that, and, you know, there was a couple of questions that were kind of answered over the past couple of days, so the goals of my videos are to be entertaining, obviously, but they're also to be informative, and I didn't want someone to watch the video and not be entertained because it wasn't actually something that they didn't already know. Like, it wasn't helpful at all. Like, the goal of my videos are to be fun, like, for them to enjoy them, but them also to learn something if I'm talking about Call of Duty esports. So I feel like I wouldn't have got that with, you know, possible video that I would have made a couple days ago. So just kind of get that out there. I know this is probably a very long time to talk about this before we even talk about what it is. So without further ado, the Call of Duty World League. Now, there was an article recently published by someone at Activision. For those who don't know Scott Lowe, he's actually the communications manager at Activision. He was one of the main guys, if you guys watched the Call of Duty esports reveal. He was the guy alongside David Varnhart talking about the game, you know, interviewing the players, just kind of giving an overall basis of what it really was. And he kind of put out an article. This is actually 2 days ago, September 24th, and I will link this particular article in the description if you guys want to read along with me. I will only be reading the first paragraph, but just kind of, you know, get this out of the way. So I'm going to go to read this one off. Like I said, you guys can follow along with that link in the description. So it says, over the last 4 years, Call of Duty has grown into a global esports phenomenon. thanks in large parts to events like the Call of Duty Championship and in-game features like podcasting, league play, and more. Now with Call of Duty Black Ops 3 set to make its debut on November 6th and Call of Duty esports bigger than ever, the time has come to take competitive Call of Duty to the next level. Today we're excited to announce the formation of the Call of Duty World League, a worldwide esports league operated by Activision. Now the last three words of that paragraph are probably one of the most important things besides the actual announcement, meaning it is operated by Activision. Activision is powering this thing by themselves and, kind of controlling whatever happens. Over the last couple of years, MLG has really had, a main kind of foothold on the entire thing. They've been the main partnership type of deal with Call of Duty. Call of Duty's kind of like, thrown esports to the side and said, you know what, MLG, you guys kind of, how about you guys take care of this? And, MLG's done a phenomenal job. I'm not taking anything away from MLG. Don't even take that or even think that. If you've watched any of the 6 episodes, I'm very thankful for what MLG has done up to this point. But operated by Activision, they didn't put this there for no reason. They didn't, have that sign for no reason. This was information that at the previous, what have we seen? We've seen the multiplayer reveal. We've also seen the esports reveal. And both of those reveals were kind of hosted or put on by ESL. Now, for those who don't know, ESL is a major kind of corporation who puts on events, who organizes events, much like an MLG or a UMG if you're familiar with the Call of Duty scene. And most people probably know who they are, but if you don't, they're basically like the biggest corporation of event coordinators out there right now in esports, from the Dota 2 tournaments to the CSGO tournaments to the LOL, whatever, esports you can imagine. Most likely, ESL hosts the biggest tournament that they have, or they host some type of tournament dealing with them. However, Call of Duty has not been one of those esports. I feel like kind of Call of Duty has been divided in a sense. We've kind of been on one side of the spectrum, and all the other esports, well, they aren't similar. They all have like a group. Like whenever you imagine, one esport, you kind of imagine the other, and you kind of intertwine them with certain things, like ESL. And Call of Duty never really had that. Like we've never had that exact type of thing since like Black Ops 2. And now with the Call of Duty, with this new league, the Call of Duty World League, this just opens up so many different opportunities if it were to be hosted by what I think it will be, ESL. Now, that kind of takes place in saying that MLG most likely will not be running this league. For those who don't know, it's similar to the MLG Pro League. At least it's supposed to be. So basically next year, it's not going to be hosted by MLG. It's not going to be hosted by UMG. UMG's not going to have a semi-pro league. So it's going to be a, basically league like we've seen, operated by Activision. There's actually going to be 2 leagues, a Pro Division and a Challenge Division. The Pro Division will feature 2 seasons in North America, Europe, and Australia, which is going to be a very, very big deal. And the results of each Pro season will actually determine which teams advance to the Call of Duty Championship. So, based off of the season that we'll have, those teams from that previous season, it might be the top 8, to be honest. They'll probably have 12 teams, and the top 8, kind of move on. The bottom 4 might have to fight it out, or, one team might be in the winner's bracket. It kind of, honestly, we don't know all the details to this, clearly. We don't even know how many teams are in it, but we do know a little bit of information about the age gap and a bunch of different stuff, where it's going to be streamed at most likely soon. But this is a big deal. $3 million to work with. And there was a lot of people asking on Twitter and kind of questioning this. I actually posted a tweet on Twitter saying, what questions do you have? Or I don't know how I worded it exactly. It's like, what are some of your major questions about the Call of Duty World League? And a lot of the questions, beside, a couple ones that we'll talk about, were how are they going to divide this $3 million up? Because there were a lot of people saying, we're going to have $3 million for COD Champs. It's not necessarily that. It's going to kind of divide amongst the leagues as well as COD Champs. So let's just say that we spent $500,000 on all the leagues combined. The 2 seasons along with, all 3 locations. Say we spent $500,000 on that. That means that we have $2.5 million to work with for COD Champs. I know that's basic math, but just kind of laying it out there for those who don't know. And I don't know if they're going to have a season playoff or, anything like that. COD Champs might actually just be that. We don't know how many teams. I don't know if the Challenge Division is going to be much different from the Pro Division, besides the fact that one's kind of like the higher tier, the other one's kind of the semi-pro type of thing. But I don't know, the difference in teams, what the Challenge Division does, whether it's related through the actual game and ranked play through ladder systems. We don't know that yet. But we will be finding out all of that information very soon. But another question that people were asking is, where are we going to watch this at? How are we going to be able to spectate and watch this online? And, is it going to be on MLG? Is it going to be on Twitch? Where's it going to be at? Is it going to be on Hitbox? No, it's not going to be on Hitbox. But, most likely to the fact that ESL is kind of have a partnership with Twitch. All the stuff that you watch from the stuff that we've watched, the esports reveal, the multiplayer reveal, has been on Twitch. So it wouldn't be any different, to be honest. Like, in no way in my mind am I thinking that we're going to be solely on MLG this year. I think if MLG does have any events, if UMG most likely will have events, they've actually announced that they will. I'm assuming that those might be on MLG, but they could be on Twitch. Gfinity, who does do stuff with Call of Duty. For those who do know, if you're a fan of the EU, you absolutely know Gfinity and Gfinity tournaments. But, they have a partnership with either one. If they do a Call of Duty event, they're going to be on MLG. Any other game, for instance, they're having a CSGO tournament this weekend, that's on Twitch. So you can tell they're not necessarily preferring MLG over Twitch. They have a partnership with COD, which means if you do a COD tournament, you have to be on MLG.tv. DreamHack this year was kind of an exception, due to the fact of their Twitch partnership. Call of Duty kind of allowed that to happen. But obviously any person on MLG realizes that Twitch is better. But MLG.tv was a necessary thing. I'm not going to get into super specifics, but the amount of money that we've made off of MLG, or of MLG.tv, was phenomenal. We wouldn't have this World Finals getting ready to come up if it wasn't for MLG.tv. So I'm very grateful for the time that we've had on it, but I think it is time that we head back over to Twitch, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen. As much as I like MLG, I love Twitch. It's the main gaming platforming, streaming network online. I think that was enough to say about it. But everyone agrees the chat on Twitch is better. Overall the system for Twitch is just, it's better. You can't really compare the other ones to MLG just because everyone knows Twitch is better, and everyone wants to see Call of Duty back on Twitch. And like I said, we've seen the multiplayer reveal. We've seen everything up to this point that Call of Duty has streamed has been on Twitch. It's not been preferred on MLG. Now, if MLG does have a part to play, let's just say that Call of Duty is primarily on Twitch, we could have MLG events that are only on MLG.tv, or we could see MLG.tv also. If you guys have watched, like, for instance, I'm just bringing this up for example, MLG does have a part to play in CSGO. They do have a part to play in Dota 2. The TI5, which is obviously on Twitch, if you guys don't know, it's like the main tournament it's the Dota 2 International for that game. It was actually on Twitch, but MLG was also allowed to broadcast it on their on MLG.tv also. So I'm not sure if that's going to also play a part in it, so we'll see COD events on both. But that most likely could come into play if MLG does have a sponsorship or have anything to do with Call of Duty, for this next year. From what I'm pretty much expecting, we'll be on Twitch. MLG events will be on MLG.tv. MLG will stream possible events done by these corporations. I'm not really sure, to be real, but I think that UMG will also be on Twitch this year. Also, so a lot of these events are going to be hosted by ESL. The main one, sponsored by Call of Duty, will be held by them. And, we'll see what happens with MLG events. UMG events are definitely going to be happening. But this has been known for a little bit of time. I knew about this it's like a month or two ago. I found out people, were kind of trying to keep it secret that ESL is going to be taking over for COD. MLG does have a part to play, but they're not near as much of a part as they were and they have been over the last couple of years. MLG has done a phenomenal job. People can hate on them and say, this and that, the streaming numbers are down. They did what they had to do. They had to get money in order to have tournaments, which they did a phenomenal job at. We've had some really difficult titles the past couple of years, with Ghost and Advanced Warfare. It was not easy, and yet they still managed to do a great job with what they had. So I'm just going to be honest. I think MLG did a great job with COD, but I think now that they are kind of overturning it, I think this is probably a good thing. Their partnership has ended, and now COD's kind of stepping in and saying, this is Black Ops 3, this is going to be a major title for us, and this is a very good chance for us to get Call of Duty esports out there, and I'm so excited that they finally realized that. But a lot of people are looking at Call of Duty and saying, well, you guys are doing great stuff, but you're not really taking into part the community, and a lot of people might be wondering what that is. So there's an age gap rule. For those who don't know, this is kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about, earlier about a video, but I decided to wait. This is one of the main topics I decided to wait about, which is the 18+ rule. People are asking, is it 17+? Is it 18+? And every single country for these ESL events, if it is ESL, these Call of Duty events, the World League will be 18+. The Call of Duty Championships, like always, except for Black Ops 2, which we'll, not going to talk about, is 18+. The reason why, for those who don't know, in other countries besides the U.S., it's 18+. For the U.S., it's 17+. It's just based on, countries having different rules and regulations and stuff. But the reason why they're raising it 1 year, even though they don't have to do that, is because they want to make it global. They don't want to have one area, specifically the U.S., have an advantage over the other, because you could say, oh, well, they have more opportunities for players. They have, let's just be honest. Like, say the EU, they can't have 17-year-old younger players, but we have Hook, who's, 17 years old. We have this and that. Which was a big deal in Black Ops 2 because Scump was allowed to play and every other country had to obey the 18+ rule, but America got the 17+. It didn't really make sense. So they're kind of getting rid of that. They've learned from their past mistakes and they're saying, you know what, it's going to be 18+ all around, which I know is a very big deal. And, in previous videos that I've talked about, I actually had a specific video talking about the 18+ rule. And while it is a very unfortunate thing, I really feel for the players who have worked incredibly hard to get to Black Ops 3, to get to this possible league that was rumored and now they can't play in it. I do feel for them insanely bad. Like, this is probably one of the most annoying things that has happened, in my opinion, but it is a good thing. And when I say annoying, I mean not annoying that the rule is in place, but annoying that they've worked so hard and now they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. So players like Hook, which I know this is just the default list, but like players like Hook, Temp, TJ Halley, they aren't going to be able to play in this league next year. They're all like around 16, and you're going to have to wait at least 2 more years to get into the World League. So that's really unfortunate for them. I feel really bad for those guys, and while there are a lot of negatives, there also are way more positives involved. And one of those negatives, kind of just getting off my chest really quickly, is that we're not going to have underage spectators at a lot of these events. Besides MLGs and UMGs, whether they relegate it differently or regulate it differently, which I hope they do, to have a little bit of competition, underage competition at different events. If you're under the age of 18 and you want to go to the World League, if you want to go to COD Champs, you're not going to be able to do that because spectators also relate to the same age as players. So if you're under the age of 18, you're not allowed to go and watch these events based on the rules. Now, could it be 17+ for spectators? I think it could be, because this might just relate to players. I honestly don't know that for sure. That's one thing that I've been trying to ask a lot of people, and no one actually knows for sure. I don't know if it's going to relate to the spectating wise of not playing it, but watching it. That could be 17+, but playing it could be 18. I honestly don't know. I hope that they at least, downgrade it 1 year, allow as many players or allow as many spectators as possible. But it really does suck. A lot of these big events, a lot of kids, I wouldn't say kids, but a lot of young fans aren't going to be able to see it, either. Whether you're, younger and you care, whether you don't actually care, it's still a big deal. And I feel really bad for a lot of the younger fans who won't be able to go and spectate these larger events based on, on this age rule. But there are positives. Obviously, it kind of makes it more professional, to be completely honest. There are a lot of younger players, and I'm not hating. I'm sure there's not a whole lot of people who watch this video who most likely have this problem. But there are a lot of players, younger players, who do cause the Call of Duty scene to look very unprofessional, to kind of downgrade it. And to be honest, there are a lot of older players that do the exact same thing. And I'm not just focusing on the younger players or anything like that, but there's a lot of under the age of 18 players who have kind of messed up Call of Duty at event land-wise. Like, there's been some hotels who have, that have kind of, let's say, at LAN events, you don't see everything. I'm just going to say it that way. At LAN events, you don't see absolutely everything, and it's probably a good thing that there's going to be 18+ at some of these events. Now, granted, at MLGs, maybe MLGs, at least at UMGs, you'll be able to play at these events even though you're under the age, which I'm excited about. I think I'm glad that there's going to be at least a couple of events that you're going to be able to go to. And I say a couple, there's going to be a lot of events that you're still going to be able to go to, which is a great thing. I'm really, really looking forward to this also. And even if I cast the UMGs, whether I cast for the World League, I would honestly love if they have a streaming platform to cast either over the Pro Division or the Challenge Division. I would love any opportunity to cast, but, if I do ever go back to UMGs, I still want to be able to see that younger, group of talent who have, such a great capability. Because, we've learned and we've seen so many great young players come out of this game. While it is a good thing, it also really sucks because we might not discover the same amount of players, we might not discover certain players in this game that we could have if that age gap wouldn't have been, in place. So I know this has gone on for a really, really long time, but I'm very excited about the Call of Duty World League. I think we covered just about everything that we needed to. I'm actually going through the questions on Twitter. I'm just looking at people asking, will it be 18+? Is MLG still involved? People kind of just asking, questions. Why is it 18 to buy COD, but it's 17+? People are just asking a lot of questions and, curious where it's going to be streamed at and whatnot. And yes, I actually saw someone just put this question. Will it be PS4 only? Yes. In the FAQ, along with the 17 in 18 plus kind of like, you know, battle. They actually put 18 plus in their frequently asked questions, and they also said that it will be played solely on the PS4. So that was kind of just, everyone kind of knew that, but we were just waiting for a confirmation. That is the exact confirmation that everyone you know, would need. And also, the Call of Duty World League will be starting in January, and COD Champs will be in, I believe, fall instead of the regular spring. So that's going to kind of set it up, and I know Nestle kind of tweeted this out. It's going to be like a Super Bowl type of feel, which I'm really excited about also. And you know, there's going to be 2 seasons of either one. I believe the 2 seasons is guaranteed for the Pro Division, but it's not guaranteed for the Challenge Division. But both the Pro and the Challenge Division will be in all you know, in all 3 of these locations: North America, Europe, and Australia. So I believe we covered just about everything. If there is anything else, you guys have any you know, further questions, we can kind of take this conversation down in the comments below. I do apologize for not having my face in this video, but I just kind of want to talk to you guys, be real, and you know, have some Black Ops 3 you know, gameplay in the background. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments, like I said, your guys' thoughts on all of this stuff, from the World League to the, you know, the 18 plus rule, whatever you guys want to really talk about. Let me know down in the comments, and I will try to answer all the questions that I know possible. So everything that I talked about in this video will be linked in the description, so make sure to go check those out. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video once again. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, my friends. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.